When people think of ancient Rome, they usually imagine gladiators, emperors, and massive stone colosseums. But Rome was far more strange, advanced, and surprising than most people realize. It was a civilization full of shocking habits, clever inventions, brutal traditions, and everyday routines that would feel unbelievable today. So here are 15 things you probably didn't know about ancient Rome. First, Romans didn't use toilet paper. Instead, public restrooms used a sponge on a stick called a tersorium. After using the bathroom, people would clean themselves with a sponge and place it back into salt water for the next person. Everyone shared it. While it sounds horrifying now, Romans believed the salt water kept it clean. Second, gladiators were celebrities. They weren't just fighters, they were ancient superstars. Gladiators had fan clubs, merchandise, and even sponsorships. Wealthy Roman women were known to admire them obsessively, and some even collected gladiator sweat, believing it had magical or cosmetic benefits. Third, ancient Romans brushed their teeth with urine. This sounds disgusting, but urine contains ammonia, which is a natural cleaning agent. Romans collected urine from public urinals and used it for cleaning clothes and teeth. Emperor Vespasian even taxed urine collection, proving just how valuable it was. Fourth, purple clothing was illegal for most people. The color purple was extremely expensive to produce and became a symbol of power and wealth. Only emperors and high-ranking officials were allowed to wear it. Wearing purple without permission could result in severe punishment, or worse. Fifth, Romans had fast food restaurants. Cities were filled with thermopolia, small shops that sold hot, ready-to-eat meals. Many Romans lived in apartments without kitchens, so grabbing food on the street was completely normal. Sixth, ancient Romans loved graffiti. Walls across cities like Pompeii were covered in messages, jokes, political opinions, insults, and advertisements. Some graffiti even promoted gladiators or mocked public figures. It shows that Romans weren't so different from us after all. Seventh, wealthy Romans used human slaves as furniture. At dinner parties, slaves might stand perfectly still for hours holding lamps, trays, or serving dishes. If they moved or dropped something, they could be severely punished. Romans believed some gods lived in their homes. Household gods called Lares and Penates were worshipped daily. Families offered food and prayers to them to protect the household and bring good fortune. Ninth, Roman doctors performed surgery without anesthesia. While they used alcohol and herbal mixtures to dull pain, patients were fully conscious during procedures like amputations or eye surgery. Despite this, Roman medicine was surprisingly advanced for its time. 10th, women had more freedom than you might expect. Roman women could own property, run businesses, and socialize freely in public. While they couldn't vote, many held significant influence behind the scenes, especially in wealthy families. 11th, Romans used lead pipes, which may have poisoned them. Roman plumbing was incredibly advanced, but many pipes were made of lead. Some historians believe long-term lead exposure may have affected Roman health and even contributed to the empire's decline. 12th, ancient Romans had bizarre beauty standards. Pale skin was fashionable, so women used lead-based makeup to whiten their faces. They also dyed their hair blonde using harsh chemicals and even wore wigs made from the hair of captured enemies. 13th, Romans loved watching executions. Public executions were considered entertainment and often took place during games. Criminals were punished in brutal, theatrical ways meant to send a message to the crowd. 14th, the Colosseum could be flooded. Romans staged mock naval battles called naumachii by flooding arenas. Ships, fighters, and animals were brought in to reenact famous sea battles for massive crowds. Finally, Rome didn't fall in a single moment. The Roman Empire declined slowly over centuries due to political instability, economic troubles, invasions, and internal decay. There was no dramatic collapse, just a long transformation into the medieval world. Ancient Rome wasn't just an empire of stone and soldiers. It was a living society filled with contradictions, brilliant and brutal, advanced and horrifying. And the more we learn about it, the more we realize how deeply Roman life still influences the world we live in today.